What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production. Comic book reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm your host, Bry-Fy, your pop culture guy, and it's Friday as I'm recording this, so you probably won't hear this until Saturday because I'm terrible at keeping any type of consistent schedule. And I thought we were off to a good start this year. I thought things were working out really well for me, and then it just immediately went downhill. Well, I won't say that. We got into March, right? I think we did good for 2 months. Then we get into March, and things just kind of, they went the Bry-Fy route of just a little bit, like we missed a week, but there were things going on. I had vacation, family vacation. So, that to me, that's understandable. Now this week, yeah, we're a little late, man. I'm going into work tonight, so that's why we're back in the car, and that's why you hear all the noises that you hear around you. But it's, don't listen to the audio quality of this podcast. Listen to the quality of the audio that you're going to be hearing on this podcast, if you know what I mean. Like, not the sound, the sustenance. That's what I want you to listen to when you listen to the Bry-Fy podcast. Although, when I'm at home in my home studio, I do really like the sound quality. And like, I champion my sound quality, but we're here, guys. Anywho, not too much to talk about this week. Do have a couple of Nifty Nerd news items, and then we're going to talk about my weekend last weekend and how that all went. And I went to a farmer's market. Not just went to a farmer's market, but participated in a farmer's market in my hometown, and what that means going forward for me, or what my hopes are going forward. And so we'll get all into that. But up first, let's get into the Nifty Nerd news. All right, everyone. Up first in the Nifty Nerd news, Matt Owens, who is the showrunner, kind of like director for the live-action One Piece series on Netflix, the great One Piece live-action series on Netflix, is going to be taking a break from the series. This came as news through his Instagram post. He shared with us. He mentions, that he just kind of needs to take a break. Saying that it's been rough. It's been a lot. Like, he spent 6 years getting this project off the ground and onto film, or, onto streaming services. And he's worked through season 2. They've announced some new actors. That's not really an important part of this Nifty Nerd news, but, he needs a break, man. He's talked about, like, he kind of jokes in this thing, like, he needs therapy, level up in Marvel Rivals, so that way he can come back refreshed. And as someone who's been addicted to Marvel Rivals this past month, I understand. Like, if I could, I would take a break from my jobs just so I could play Marvel Rivals, because it's that much fun. Fans of Overwatch, it's pretty much Overwatch, but with Marvel characters, which I really enjoy. But, he mentions, though, that he will come back, that we will see him soon. Now, is that I would assume that's back on One Piece, getting back to it. He just kind of needs to take a step for his mental health and other things. But, maybe like, some people are speculating he's not coming back, but I think, honestly, what Matt has brought to the live-action One Piece, you can't let that go. Like, he's done so well of staying true to the source material, and when he has to deviate from it for, not artistic reasons, but for, like, just practical reasons for a series versus what an anime is. Because, live-action anime, we know, those cannot be the same. You can get close, but if you go too far to try to remake exactly what happens in the anime, it gets too cheesy, where it's just, wow, this is just not great, And then if you try to go too far to be too live-action-y, you lose what the anime really brought, what, like, the heart of the anime. And I feel like Matt, working with Ichiro Oda, who is the creator of One Piece, the manga, I feel like him working alongside Oda has been great. They've really worked together to figure out what works in a live action setting, while still staying true to the wackiness, silliness, and heart of the anime, and the manga and the anime. And so I really hope Matt Owens comes back, because I feel like that's a huge loss to this series and will be a big detriment going forward, where you're not going to get the same quality. And so we'll have to see. Season 2, I think, Matt is still involved with it. Like I said, he's taking a break, coming back, but season 2 will be the real test of like, how is this going to look going forward. But wish him all the best. Hopefully he comes back ready, refreshed, stronger than ever, and we get a great season 2 of One Piece. Up next in the Nifty Nerd news, coming back to some trading card stuff. So if you're a fan of Pokemon cards and you're a fan of baseball cards, this next one, or even just a fan of either or, you might want to listen in on this next bit of Nifty Nerd news. So it looks like baseball and Pokemon, while not doing an actual collaboration, they're getting involved this time, and it's in baseball cards. So pay attention, guys. Those of us who collect Pokemon cards and not so much baseball cards, this might be some new stuff for you. But me, I collect both, so I'm going to try to bridge the gap for those of you who don't. So baseball, they do a bunch of different cards, and they'll do like parallels or variants of cards. One of the things that they also do is like X number of cards, or like so many cards out of X, right? Like a 1 of 5, 1 of 10, and they'll release 10 cards that are the same, but it's literally that, a limit of 10 cards. But one of the big things that they do are 1 of 1 cards. And Topps, the company that does these baseball cards, will do these crazy, hyper rare, like legendary rare type cards, guys, of 1 of 1, meaning there is only one type of this card. And this is where you guys need to pay attention, because there is a 1 of 1 card out there for a baseball player on the San Francisco Giants named Evan Longoria. And in his 1 for 1 card, not only is it an autograph card, but you get a piece of his bat. It's the little knob end on the bat. Like if you've ever seen baseball, the bats, they're not just a solid, they're not just a one dimension cylinder, they have some shape to them. And at the end of the bat, there's a little knob that's to help keep your hands on the bat so you don't lose it. Well, some players like to decorate this knob, or have like a custom made knob, and sometimes they'll have information like the bat weight and length or stuff like that if you ever go in the stores and look at metal bats. Evan Longoria, though, his bat knob has something fans of Pokemon might really appreciate, and that is a picture of Charizard on the bat knob. So this 1 for 1 autograph card will have his Charizard bat knob, that sounds really weird when I say it, in the card, embedded in the card. And they do this with like jersey pieces, other pieces of bat, helmet pieces, tickets. Like, so in like game worn and game used memorabilia, Topps will embed these in certain cards, and they can be quite valuable, especially when there's autographs associated with this. Now, Evan Longoria, I'm not too familiar with the San Francisco Giants or Evan's career, so I don't know how great of a player he really is, and like how much his autograph alone could fetch. Now, you can go online and look at, hey, like certain cards with Evan Longoria's autograph get X amount. But this is a 1 for 1. This is not only just a 1 for 1, but it's a 1 for 1 with a Charizard in it. And if Pokemon fans know anything, if there's a Charizard involved, it's going to be high dollar. And I can only imagine the craziness that is going to be for this card. Now, there are some other things to consider. I mean, one, we've seen the craziness of Pokemon collecting in general early this year, and we'll talk more about that in my next Nifty Nerd news segment. Not only is it sorry, my windshield wiper. Excuse me. Not only is that crazy, but baseball collecting is even crazier to an extent. Now, I've never had issues finding what I want to find when I look for baseball cards, but I will say some of this stuff gets really pricey. This card that you can get a chance to win or find, the boxes are expensive. Let me just tell you, the boxes are expensive, guys. So if you're lucky enough to be able to get it from the Fanatics website who sells this, it's Topps Tier 1. That's the, not set, but that's like the type of cards that they are, Topps Tier 1. If you are lucky enough to be able to get this from the website directly, like ordering from PokemonCenter.com, the MSRP of it is around $200. I can't remember if it's $150 or $200, but essentially it's $200. If you can't get it there, eBay is your next best chance. And theirs are like going to a card shop, and you're looking at close to $400 now to get these boxes. What do you get in this box? Well, one, you get the chance at a one of one Charizard, but what normal people, what most of us will get, because only one person's going to get that amazing card, most of us are going to get 2 autograph cards, a relic card, which is like an older card or have like something in it, and then 1 base parallel card. That's right, 4 cards. For $200, you will get your chance for 4 cards, hopefully one of them being the 1 of 1 Evan Longoria with the Charizard bat knob. 4 cards, $200. Think about that. That is insane, guys. That is like, I don't even know what to liken it to. I don't have anything in my collection that's like these 4 cards. Like, I mean, my Charizards are worth way more than that, but like, it's ridiculous. And I will tell you, these cards are not always valued at $200. Some of them will only sell for 10 to 15. Like the base card that comes in this 4-card box. I bought a Jose Altuve base Topps Tier 1 for like maybe $10. You know, so you got to be lucky to hit your autographs. One, like, not every player is worth something that has an autograph. So just because you get a card with an autograph doesn't really mean you have something good. Like, I have an autograph of a rookie or a prospect, so he's not even in the major leagues yet. But if he doesn't pan out, that autograph means nothing. Like, if he decides, oh, I really suck at baseball, so I'm just going to go home, like, he's not worth anything. That card that has an autograph on it is maybe worth $1 or $2. Like, there are autograph cards out there that are only worth that much. So you're taking a huge risk on a $200 box in the hopes to get something really special, getting a numbered card like a 1 of 5, a 1 of 10, a 1 of 1. So really earn that money that you spent. So it's pretty crazy, man, but it's exciting. Like, I almost want to try getting a box just to see, but I'm curious to see who will pull it. I know the guy, Evan Longoria, is really excited. He's posted about, like, he's excited to see who gets the card. Heck, there was a pitcher from the Pittsburgh Pirates. His name's Paul Skeens. He just had like one of his rookie autograph. I think it was like a patch or something inside of it, a memorabilia card, 1 of 1, go for $1.1 million. And Dick's Sporting Goods, the sports store, bid in the auction to win it for $1.1 million. Now, I think Dick's Sporting Goods has the naming rights to the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball field. I don't know. Are they from Pennsylvania? So, like, it kind of meant something to them to get that card. But the fact that they had to bid over $1 million to get a baseball card for a rookie who's just started playing for like the last 2 years, I think last year was maybe his first year or the year before that. Like, that's how crazy baseball cards can get, guys. If you're not into baseball cards, that's how crazy they can get. But they are very hard to get that type of money for. So don't think it's like Pokemon. You pull a Charizard, you're almost guaranteed like $100, $200. Like, if you wait, baseball players is not like that. So be very careful if you decide to try to go the baseball card route, like I've done, because you're going to spend a lot more money on it with a lot less returns if that's what you're looking for. All right, guys, up next in the Nifty Nerd news, since we're talking about baseball cards and cards in general, we'll move on to Pokemon cards. So the new set has been announced, which was called Destined Rivals, which is kind of like their Team Rocket set, which when I talked and looked at some articles, it looked like it wasn't going to be a Team Rocket set. There were going to be some cards with it that are going to be Team Rocket. But after seeing what the Pokemon Center and the Pokemon Company has put out, they are heavily leaning into the Team Rocket aspect of this set. So I don't know. It looked like still the cards haven't changed, but it looks like they're definitely leaning into Team Rocket, and like that leaning heavy because I mean Team Rocket sells. You got people like me who really love the original Team Rocket set and the cards from back then. So why not cater to us and our nostalgia, because you're going to get our money when you do it that way. And so that seems what they've been doing. Now, trying to order it from the Pokemon Center was difficult to say the least. So Pokemon implemented their new queue system, which only let like a couple of thousand people at a time on the website, and it kind of put you in groups, so you had to wait. And it was a way for them to combat the bots. So if they could, I guess, slow the bots down in a way and give people a chance to actually make purchases, that's what they're trying to do. And I believe there was a limit to how much you could order from the website. If not, there should have been. But supposedly a lot of people were able to get product with the new system. However, there were a lot of complaints of hour-plus wait times. In fact, I did it from my phone, and I had to wait over an hour with my phone just to get into the website, just to find out that Destin Rivals was no longer available. Like, it had run out of stock. Now, I did get a late start because I didn't realize it was dropping that day. And that, I guess on me, because I'm not scouring the internet every second of every day to find out when it drops. But as soon as I found out it was dropping, I tried to get online to get it. The other thing that I've noticed is some people have complained that their orders are being canceled. That I guess some of the people who were able to get orders late, I guess the Pokemon company realized, oh, we can't print out that many, or I don't know what happened, or maybe their transaction didn't go through because the website was seeing a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Some people were getting kicked out and re-put back in the lines, or queues, to try to get the product. And so it didn't go very well. And I mean, that has to do with this craze, dude. Like, people are crazy for Pokemon cards right now. It's insane. Not only that was, I think Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. I think Tuesday when this happened. And maybe it was Wednesday. I can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday. So my wife and I went to the beach that day. Maybe it was Monday. I don't know. No. It doesn't matter. What matters is, while the Pokemon Company is trying to do better to get the product out of scalpers and bots' hands and into the individuals that want them, which are other scalpers. But, there are people like me that are trying to get this product. And so that way me and my son can open them together, because RJ, my son, loves Pokemon cards too. I love them a lot. And like any extras that I get, I sell on the third market and stuff like that. But I'm not trying to buy sealed product to turn around and sell sealed product. To me, that's just wrong. Like, to me, I don't agree with that practice. I hate it. I think it's kind of scummy. I hate that, not comic shops, but like card shops, stuff like that, and any other shop that's not like a Target, Walmart, like a retail store that will not sell at third party or can't sell at third party. But these shops that do, they're preying on people. Like, that's honestly how I feel. I get it. There's a third market and stuff like that, and these shops are trying to make money and stay in business. But at the same time, I feel like that preys on people, because they're just part of the problem of people that are buying up this product where normal you and me can't get to it. So it inflates the prices, it inflates the cards, and makes it so much more expensive for just regular people who want to collect cards they like to be able to afford to collect the cards they like because of this craze, dude. And it's just insane to me. And I don't think I will ever change my views on that, because to me it's just not right. And I know there's card shops out there that like are just trying to make a living, but I still don't think it's right. Like, open that product, sell the cards inside. Like, go like individual card market value, whatever for that, right? Because that's where the value is. But people holding on to a sealed product with not a guaranteed thing inside of it, like, you could sell me a $400 box, same with baseball, but only have $100 worth of cards inside. And yes, it's a gamble, but it shouldn't be gambling, Like, yeah, it's chance, but you're turning it into a gambling thing. You're turning it into a terrible habit. You're turning it into an awful thing. And like I've said this before, it makes me not want to be a part of this hobby. And like, the only thing that I've done to like even remotely stay in the hobby is I'm looking at collecting vintage cards, because those are the only things that haven't really changed in value. And those are the sets that I grew up with and I want to collect and have complete sets in. And so that's where my money's really kind of gone here recently, is filling out my vintage stuff, because to me that's a fair trade. Like, that's money for a guaranteed card that I want, and not blowing away $400 for what might be, you know? Like, that, to me, that's just silly. But unfortunately, not everyone thinks that way, because people are still buying these cases and these boxes and these sealed products at these prices. If they weren't, this wouldn't be an issue, and I wouldn't be having to complain about it talk about it on this podcast. But it's just the matter, like, there are people with money that are going to spend it and keep justifying to these like sellers and these people that, oh yeah, there's a market for it at this price because people are obviously going to pay for it. It's just crazy. Talking about crazy, so the new set came out today, and I thankfully got one like little box. It was like a jumbo card box, came with 4 booster packs. So I was really stoked. I was like, hey man, this thing comes with 4 booster packs. I get some journeys together, which is what I've been looking for. Yeah, it's just 4, but whatever. And I couldn't see everything because some of the cards had fallen through. I guess someone kind of not opened the box, but kind of poked around in it and knocked some of the booster cards down. So I was like, whatever. I see one of the journey together boosters. Take it home. Let's go. Unfortunately, when I took it home and opened it up, I found out that this box does not have 4 Journey Together booster packs. No, it has 2 Journey Together booster packs and 2 other Scarlet and Violet booster packs. Thankfully, one was Obsidian Flame, which I like, and the other one was Paldean Evolved, which I also like. So the fact that it was those 2 packs and not like something I don't like, I can swallow it a little bit better. But the fact that I don't get like 4 Journey Together, like, I don't understand why I couldn't get 4 Journey Together boosters. Like every other product that they've done like this, they give you all the same. So why is this different? So why am I only getting 2 of these booster packs? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. Thankfully, I know it was only like $20 for the box. Now, like I said, it's only 4 booster packs and then some promos, but at least I didn't spend $50. Even if I wanted to spend $50 on Journey Together, I couldn't, because I couldn't find any of this shit in stores. So, I mean, just shit out of luck. I don't know. It's frustrating, guys. I've told you it's frustrating. For me, the promo card for Journeys Together is okay. I'm not super into it. I think it's a Zorak or Zorak. I forget what that Pokemon's called. There are some cards that I do want from this set, so I probably will have to buy them individually, because that's the only way I can guarantee I'm going to get them and spend money that I'm okay with spending. Other than that, I'm going to have to spend a ridiculous amount on sealed product, which I'm just not going to do. I just can't. You've heard my rant before. I'm not going to waste the money. I'm not going to embolden the people that are doing this now. That's just, it's crap. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah. Journey Together is out. Good luck trying to find it, because I have not had a good time trying to find this booster. But yeah. Alright guys, the next thing on the Nifty Nerd news. So Marvel has announced in a social media post the cast for the new Avengers Doomsday movie, and it is a doozy. A doomsday. There are a lot of names attached to this cast list so far, and we don't even know if that's the complete list. You know, they could be holding on to some secrets and stuff, but with some of the names that they have put on this, it's wow, man. So you're gonna have some mainstays like Tom Hiddleston, Tom Hiddleston, Loki, Chris Hemsworth, Thor, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, but other names, I'll just kind of go through the list real quick. Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm, Anthony Mackie, Captain America, Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, Letitia Wright, who's Shuri, or the new Black Panther, Wyatt Russell, who is U.S. Agent, or John Walker, Tanak Horta, who played Namor, or Namor, as most of us call him, Ebon Moss Botrak, I don't know if I said his name right, who plays Ben Grimm, the Thing, Simu Liu, Shang-Chi, Florence Pugh, Kelsey Grammer, Louis Pullman, Danny Ramirez, Joseph Quinn, David Harbour, Winston Duke, Hannah John Cowan, I think that's how you say her name. Patrick Stewart is on this list. What? Ian McKellen is on this list. And yeah, it's probably going to start making some sense after saying those two names. We're getting some of the original X-Men from that movie back. Alan Cumming, who played Nightcrawler, Rebecca Romange, I don't know if I said her name right, who was Mystique. James Marsden is on this list. Channing Tatum from Deadpool is now on here. Pedro Pascal and Robert Downing Jr. as Dr. Doom is showing up on this list, of course, which we already knew that was revealed at, was it E3? But that is huge. So, also, some of those names, I didn't say the heroes that they portray. I just kind of swapped back to just the actors' names because hopefully you don't know some of them and you might go look it up later or at another time because it could be spoilers for some of the movies coming out before Doomsday on like, oh, is this character going to live or die? Well, hopefully you didn't recognize some of those names because it might spoil, I guess, some of the movies for you or who some characters are in those movies. But, I mean, this is a huge list, man. I mean, this is like Avengers Endgame level cast list. And we're not even sure if this is the full list. Like, as of note, Spider-Man's not on this list. Tom Holland. Some other characters from Deadpool were not on this list. Some other original X-Men are not on this list. So, I don't know, man. Like, could we see some of these characters? May we not see some of these characters? Will some people come back that were done with Marvel movies? Like, I don't know. So, I'm excited. If they are giving us this much info, what are they still holding on to? Is my thought on this. So hopefully, man, it's some good shit. So I can't wait to see. The last bit of Nifty Nerds... Sorry, I messed up. The last bit, because it's starting to rain, but the last bit of Nifty Nerd news that I got for you guys this week is going back to video games and some more updates on Pokemon Legends Z to A. Like, why the hell are they calling it Pokemon Legends Z to A? Like, what is the importance of that? What does that got to do with Lumio City and all that? Like, to me, I was at a complete loss because it honestly didn't make any sense. Well, in the most recent Nintendo Direct, this was March 27th, we got a little bit of clarity in maybe what that actually means. So, the game takes place inside Lumio City, and from everything that I can tell, there's, like, you're not leaving it. You're staying there. You're not traveling to other towns. Everything is happening there. And you're going to be a part of either building the community or making things better for them. I'm not 100% sure what the storyline is, but we know we're stuck there. So how are you going to find wild Pokemon? Wild Pokemon exist in the wild, but is there a wild in the city? And we get the answer to that. There are actually going to be what they're calling wild zones within the city. So kind of, I guess, like park areas. They seem to vary in size. Most of them don't seem incredibly large, but that's only from the small taste that we were able to get from the Nintendo Direct. But maybe they can range from, a smaller size park to a much larger size park. I don't know what exactly they're going to be able to do with it or how they're going to integrate it and make it, but it seems pretty cool, man. So during the day, you're going to be able to roam the city and find these wild areas or wild zones, and that's where you'll catch wild Pokemon. That's where you can fight wild Pokemon and stuff like that. The Z to A part is it becomes more apparent when they talk about, well, hey, we're going to have day and night cycles, so what's going to happen during night? And it looks like nighttime, nighttime, either new zones are going to pop up or your wild zones are going to turn into what's called ZA Royale zones. And so I'm not sure if it's going to be Battle Royale style, because when you say, Royale, that's kind of what you think, right? Battle Royale. But it looks like these new zones, the ZA Royale zones, are going to be battle specific. So there will be trainers in there looking to battle, and it looks like the battling mechanic is going to change greatly. Now, instead of like always being spotted and that's how you start your battles, you can sneak up on a trainer and initiate an attack with, like, if you can sneak up on them, and which is going to give you like bonus damage and stuff like that. So that's going to change gameplay a bit, because now, depending on an opponent, you can sneak up on them and have a better advantage against them, which seems kind of cheap, right? Because like now you're like ambushing people, and is that really what we want to do? But who knows, man? It seems to add like a really cool thing to it. Another thing that someone's kind of noticed and pointed out is on the move list, there seem to be like grades for the moves, like your different fighting moves. And I don't know if that's something that's like, hey, this move is just graded this, or if that's something that you can enhance and change over time, like an RPG. So are we getting a more RPG build and like spec your Pokemon character, or maybe it's not as in depth? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. The more I find out about Pokemon Z to A, the more excited I am to get my hands on it. Oh, but I'm not done, because I didn't really explain what the Z to A means. So we talked about the Z to A Royale. Well, fighting in the Z to A Royale League, ZA Royale League, you gain rank. And guess what? You start at rank Z, and you work your way up to rank A. So maybe that's where they're getting the Pokemon Legends Z to A from, is this new battle system and how you move your rank from Z to A. I don't have much more news than that, but that seems to be where they're coming from with the new title and where they're going with the game. And you know what? I think it's cool. Like, this has been probably my favorite thing about the Pokemon Legends games, is that they are trying new things. They're doing things different with the Pokemon formula, because, I mean, some of us, like, we love the familiarity of a Pokemon mainstay game and how it works, and going to gyms and earning gym badges and stuff like that. But having these new Legend games kind of break the mold and do something new and different and intriguing, I like this, man. I like being able to have my main game and then have like this cool side game, which still carries a lot of the normal gameplay stuff, or enough of the familiarity to feel like a mainstays game, but enough of the differences to really set itself apart. But Z to A seems like it's going to, they're changing the battle mechanic and a lot of other things, so we'll see, man. We'll see if it's too far or if it's just right and different enough to like really, really enhance the experience. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited to give it a shot, man. Like, I really can't wait for Pokemon Z to A to come out, because it seems like it's going to be a great time. But that's all I got for the Nifty Nerd news today, guys. Stick around, because after this, we're going to just talk about my weekend and what my future plans are concerning what I did this past weekend. Alright guys, so for the last part of the Bry-Fy podcast, normally this is where we have the review portion. I guess we are going to kind of review what my weekend was like and how that turned out for me. But I think I mentioned it a little bit last podcast and my social media. If you follow me on social media, everything is at Bry-Fy Podcast, Bryfy Podcast. I've been posting of me getting ready and excited to join my hometown's market days, or like, it's, you go down to the square or like the central point of town, and there's a bunch of it's like a farmer's market. Not many farmers there, but people are selling their wares, and items that they've crafted, created, and bought or whatever to sell to the local community. And it's something like I've always gone to as a kid. I've always really enjoyed it because you like to see things there. One of the things I remember saying, and not just like the last couple of times, but I feel like I've been saying for a while, is why does no one sell Pokemon cards there? Why does no one sell the things that I really like there? And Pokemon cards being one of them, but like collectibles and stuff. Like no one's selling pops, no one's selling comics. Not until recently, like I think not the last one before I joined, but like the one prior to that, there was one guy that had a couple of comic books, but they were like nothing that I was really collecting, and they were in kind of bad shape. And he had a few baseball cards, but not really anything that I collect or that I was interested in. No, Houston Astros. But like I was like, why am I not seeing the things I want to see? Why is no one selling the things that I want to buy at these market days? You know, things that interest me. And after asking myself this question a couple of times, I finally dawned on me, like, if I'm not seeing the things that I want to see here, I have to be those things. And also, my closet's getting really full of like Pokemon cards and bulk cards, and I need to find a way to get rid of them so that I can make room to buy more. And so that's kind of what drove me to like really contemplate joining market days and trying to sell Pokemon cards there. Finally, my wife just kind of gave me the ultimate push of like, well, you just got to do it, because I'd been packaging up these cards for a while, and the original plan was to give away as many as I could at Halloween time for kids, because like it's really cool getting Pokemon cards, and it's really cool getting baseball cards and stuff like that. And this past Halloween, we did that, and I just don't get nearly enough kids to like really move these products, but like kids who are get them would be really excited because they're Pokemon cards. Like kids love them. Like the Halloween little trick or trade 3-card booster packs that Pokemon's doing, those are always like the first things to go. We buy like 2 or 3 of those bags and we're out because kids want them. Kids love them. So we started handing out these homemade mystery packs, and kids were eating them up too. Well, I still had a freaking crap ton in a box, and decided, hey, let's bring those out there. I have some singles that I'm not really attached to and I'm not trying to hold on to, so maybe we can move these. And I decided to give it a shot, man. Got a 10x10 little canopy that I've had. Got to borrow 2 folding tables and just grabbed as much audacity as I could and went out there. Now, it wasn't just me throwing out cards. I did have like a bunch of like tins that I've collected, coins, dice, stickers, whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, well, how am I going to move this product? Because trying to sell stickers is kind of dumb. And I looked, my son had this little toy wheel. It was like a little spin wheel, you know, like we use like Wheel of Fortune type thing or whatever, or Price is Right wheel. You spin it, it lands on a number or it lands on something, and you either get that prize or get that dollar amount or whatever. And this one, it had little cubby holes, so like each little pie cut was like a little cubby. And so I decided inside of each cubby I would put a piece of paper that said, hey, you won a 10, you won a Pokeball, you won a sticker, you won a dice. And I kind of debated on, should I charge for this? Should I do it for free? Or like, hey, if you spend X amount, you get a free spin or something like that. And I decided, you know what? We'll just do it for $1. You just spin. $1 gets you a spin, and you can either win a Poke Tin, which some people online sell for like $4 to $5, or you can get a sticker, which is probably not worth $1, but you know, it's kind of like a risk reward thing. And so I decided to go out with that, and as it turned out, that was probably my biggest seller. Like, that's what drove the kids in. They wanted to spin the wheel. The wheel was cool. Plus, you know, you got a 10 out of it. You got something out of it, which the parents really enjoyed. Hey, like, that seemed like a kind of a cool prize to get. And so, honestly, the wheel spin was like the big thing. And there were some times where I would give kids like a free spin, like if like their parents bought a bunch of stuff. I was like, you know what, go ahead, spin the wheel. And so, like, I wasn't really too hard on, like, you have to pay to do this. Like, if they came up and all they wanted to do was spin the wheel and, like, didn't want to buy anything or stuff like that, I said, okay, look, that's for sure got to be $1, right? But it was a lot of fun, man. One of my favorite things about doing this was seeing the look on people's faces, seeing cards, because it kind of really dawned on me, like, I was not the only person thinking, like, why is no one selling this shit? Like, why is no one here with this at market days? Because, well, one, the way Pokemon cards are right now, it's almost impossible to find any. So the fact that I had some, and I happened to have some from, like, the newest set that was out at the time, Prismatic Evolutions, that turned a lot of heads, and that got people really excited. Funny enough, one of the first cards I sold was my base set 2 Charizard, and that is not a cheap card. It's well over $100, but I had a guy come up, saw that I had it there, got really excited, and ended up buying it from me. So that was amazing. Like, one, I just wanted to make my money back for the table for market days. And in that first sell, I blew it out of the water. I doubled like what I was hoping to at least minimally make. And in fact, through the day, after we tallied how much money, like, I counted the money and counted how much, because I don't take card because I don't have, like, a little square thing or anything to take card, but I did do Cash App, PayPal, Venmo for people who maybe didn't have cash on hand but could pay over the phone like that. And counted all that up, counted up all my cash, and the amount of money that I came home with was astonishing. Like, I was shocked that I came home with that much money. Like, and now I'm not saying, like, oh, it was $1,000. No, it was nothing like that. But it was a couple of hundred, and I was shocked. But, I sold a lot of single cards that ranged in, like, $10 to $30 to $40 range. Like, I was moving those. The mystery packs were moving quickly. I pretty much went through probably half my box, or like my case that I had. So I was really pleased with that because I did move a lot of cards. The things I noticed that didn't really go very well were the bulk cards. I was really hoping, like, my bulk cards would go a little faster because I was doing like 15 for $1. So 15 cards for $1. I had people look through it, and some kids, like, saw 1 or 2 cards, and if they were really just going to try to walk away with 1 or 2 cards, I just gave those for free, like, whatever, But, and there were some kids that came, they're like, oh, I really like EVs, or, oh, I really like this, or I really like that, So I was like, hey, yeah, let's look through here, and we can maybe find the Pokemon you're looking for, and so, but no one was really like, oh, yeah, you got bulk, man, let me buy, like, 30 bulk cards, and here's $2. No, so the bulk stuff really wasn't moving, so that's really not the money maker there. The mystery packs did very well. People really like that, but that's also because my mystery packs guaranteed have a hit in them. So something like a Pokemon EX card or higher in them, guaranteed, or I was going to give you a free pack for it. And I'll tell you what, no one came back for a free pack. That's because I know for a fact you're a hit in every pack. That, and they probably just didn't want to come back. But, like, those were selling like hotcakes. No. But it was a great time, man. Like, not only just for the selling part, but being able to talk with people and just having people talk about, like, Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, One Piece, baseball cards. That was a lot of fun, man. And just, like I said, seeing people's faces being like, oh my God, like, you're selling this. This is awesome. And being real pleased with that, and just having the conversations. Got to meet people who, like, say, hey, have you heard of this, like, little game store that's opened up in the town, like, next to you? And I was like, no, that's new. And like, yeah, it's only been here for so many, like, a year or something. Like, you should definitely check it out. So, like, getting to, like, build the community with that, and, like, make, like, new acquaintances, and learn about new shops and stuff. Like, it was really cool, man. It was a really great experience. Now, the question, and I've actually been asked this already from people on my Facebook. Some people have reached out to me that took my business card from the last market days. Is they were asking, am I going to be at the next one in April? And I hadn't put an answer out. And honestly, my initial answer was no. I wasn't going to come out in April. And that was mostly because Houston's Collecticon, it's a card show, Pokemon card show, or like trading card, but they really focus on Pokemon and, One Piece, Magic the Gathering, and stuff like that. Excuse me. That show is actually the same weekend as the next market days. And I really want to go to that card show because I'm trying to complete like my base set and stuff like that and finish those cards out. Now, ultimately, I guess I could buy those cards online and not have to go to that show, but it's fun to go to that show. I enjoy going to that show. But, it was like, man, I really don't know if I want like to either miss the show or skip out on things. And so my initial thought was that, you know what, just probably won't do market days so that way I can go to this because, that's something I really like to do. And then I thought about it for one of two things. One, the con goes on for 2 days. So I could do the market days on Saturday and then go to the convention on Sunday, which would be a lot of fun and really cool. The other thing was, if I make the money like I made this last market days, then I can have that money to go to the convention and spend money on like things that I normally wouldn't spend money on. Which I was like, that could be a really good idea for me because like one of the things when I go to these conventions, it's so hard for me to spend the money because, and one, especially with the hobby where it's at now, like justifying spending that money. But if I've sold a bunch of cards, one, to clear space, but two, to kind of like also put some of that card money in my pocket, like I could use that to buy product there and potentially bring it to another market days. Like that was my thought process on that. So that might be something that I might do now, is do market days, but then turn around and go to the convention the next day. But here's the other thing. So the day after market days, my back was killing me. And I couldn't figure out why. Like, why am I hurting so bad? But I thought about it. I'm leaned over a table helping people look at cards and stuff. And I was doing that 9 to 5. Well, 9 to 4. So I basically, it was a full-time work. It was like, working a 40-hour week or an 8-hour day or whatever. And that hurt. Like, that hurt my back doing that. So that's also another thing I run a risk of, is if I do that for market days, I may be hurting for the convention and I might not really enjoy the convention. And because at the convention, I'm going to have my son with me and he's going to be a handful because there's going to be so much stuff he wants to see. I'm going to have to make sure he doesn't touch things. And at worst case scenario, well, at best case, I just take the wagon with me and put him in the wagon. And hopefully he just stays in there. But he doesn't always like to just stay in there. And then he gets bored really fast. So, like, if he's in the wagon, he's going to get bored of being in the wagon. He's going to want to leave. And so I got to, play this game, right? I got to think, is it worth it? And ultimately, I think it will be. Because, like I said, I had so much fun at this market days. I had so much fun talking with people, getting to, like, make friends and make acquaintances and just talk cards and talk baseball and talk Pokemon. Like, it was just so much fun. I had people asking me, hey, do you do vintage video games? I was like, bro, this is just shit I'm trying to get out of my closet. Like, I'm not a store. Like, I'm not, like, I don't have a storefront or anything. And someone asked me, like, hey, do you, like, sell online and stuff? I was like, no, honestly, like, I'm just testing the waters. I told a lot of people that, like, I'm really just kind of feeling this out, seeing what it's like. And I'm not trying to rip people off by selling shit for crazy over prices. I'm just trying to get stuff out of here, and that's why, like, my mystery packs were only $2. Like, I can't tell you how long I struggled with, should I sell them for $3 or $4? Like, and I told myself, like, no, a normal booster pack, although it has like half the cards I'm giving them, is like $5. So no one's going to look at me trying to sell something for the same price as something that potentially they could find in stores. But if I'm doing it for $2, that's a deal. Like, you're getting, I think my packs had 18 cards in them. So you're getting 18 cards, guaranteed something cool, for only $2, which is less than half the price of what booster packs are going for in stores, if you can even find them in our stores. So like I know they're getting a good deal, and they know they're getting a good deal, and I think that's why it went so well, and I think that's why they did so awesome. Now, I wish the baseball mystery packs, and I did sell some Magic the Gathering ones. I have some basketball ones, but no one wanted those. I guess no one likes basketball. But I wish I could get the baseball ones to move a little quicker, but I don't think as many people collect baseball cards. So I might have to try to figure a different way to move those products. I live in the Houston area, so maybe doing like Houston specific packs and Rangers specific pack, like team packs, and moving cards that way might be a better option. And so I'm gonna probably try that out. So I think it's gonna suck, but I think I'm gonna open up all the baseball mystery packs so that way I can rearrange the cards to make team packs. And maybe that will move them a little better. Maybe that will get those cards out, because ultimately that's the goal, right? For me, is to clear space and move these cards that I obviously don't need anymore. And hopefully someone else can find a new home for them and find new love for them. And like, that's what I'm trying to do. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I just talked myself into it right now on the podcast. You were here for a new idea. And that's what we're here for, man. The Pokemon, though, needs to be random. I think Pokemon, that's the whole point of it, right? Like, opening a booster pack, you don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be random. So I'm not going to do, like, energy-specific cards or anything like that, because I think that just kind of defeats the purpose of the Pokemon mystery pack. But for the baseball, I think I'm going to try this, because it might move the mystery packs better if they're actually teams. So team packs for baseball. So we'll see. But I think I've really talked myself into, yeah, we're going to do a market days next month. So I guess I got to get on the freaking email with this dude again, because they were asking me, hey, you going to do this? You going to do this? And I was kind of like, nah, I'll think about it. But I think I've thought about it, man. It's time. It's time to put up. Like, put up or shut up. We're going to put up, man. But that's really it, man. That's all that I got for you guys for this week. Anyone who's listening to the podcast who met me at market days, thank you guys for listening. Sorry for the language, but I did put, it is rated M. It's on there. It's on my website. So you will hear bad words from me from time to time. And I can't, I know I kept it clean at market days, but that's because it's a family event and stuff. But now you're in my world, brother. No. But, so yeah, if you came over from there, from the market days, and now you're listening to the podcast, thank you guys so much. Hopefully something you might enjoy and you might want to keep on listening to. If not, stay tuned, because I'll be posting about what I'm going to be bringing to the next market days, So if you stood around this long and now you kind of have an idea, but head over to my socials on Instagram, at Blue Sky, what else? Facebook. I think that's pretty much it, man. I think that's really, and I'm on Snapchat too, but I don't really post things. That's more of a personal thing. But yeah, Threads. I'm on Threads as well, but that's linked to my Instagram. But so yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and Blue Sky. That's where you need to tune in, because that's probably where you're going to see most of my posts, my updates on products that I'm going to try to bring to market days, and some single cards that I have for sale. I'll try to put some of that stuff on there to get people excited. But man, that's all I got for you guys this week on the Bry-Fy podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Bry-Fy out.